given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's...
Hello, and welcome to Seek Truth, Speak Truth. Good day to you all, and I hope you're enjoying your day wherever you are on our beautiful planet. Great episode again for you today. It's one of my sort of informative, hopefully informative. I'm going to go through and do part 2 of WheresWally's debunks, where he got other creators to come along, showcase their talents and debunk Flat Earth. So I'm going to go through the next couple and just literally state and stop basically when I think I have something to say about the matter, be it how I felt as a Flat Earther or my feelings now I've come to the side of truth. A couple of things first of all though. I want to do a massive shout out. I've had a big sort of surge on my Patreon, and it's massive. It's massive. You'll notice I've been making a video nearly every day at the minute, and that is because I owe you guys. I owe you guys so much. I will keep delivering. Big shout out to It's Probing Time 666. I'm going to put a little name down here because he deserves it. He is now going to be known as my executive producer of Seek Truth, Speak Truth. Because of the contribution he has made on my Patreon, he now has godlike status and he's the producer now, executive producer of this channel. Obviously all the ideas and things mostly will still be mine, but he will have a massive say if he wants to in the direction this channel goes. Secondly, the Nathan Thompson saga. I have joined his new group, obviously anonymously, because obviously if they knew who I was, I'd get booted straight away. It's full of trolls at the minute. Most of them are actually globe earthers, which is brilliant, but I am not commenting at the minute. But over the next month or so, I could do a series in itself on that Facebook page. It is hilarious. So I'm just going to gather some stuff every day and come out with some brilliant, hilarious episodes for you guys based around that Facebook page because it is so funny. I'm struggling to not type. I've had a couple of messages written out and then I know that as soon as I do write something, I'm gone. So yeah, I'm just kind of a fly on the wall at the minute and I'm having a great time. But yeah, most of it, I realised that probably most of the people that were even on his page before were just globers there to have a laugh, just like most Flat Earth channels. But I would probably say if you are a subscriber of Flat Earth channels, don't do that because you're adding to their numbers basically, aren't you? But I understand why. I still am. I went through my subscriptions the other day and I was still actually members of Flat Earth channels or subscribed to them from when I was still a Flat Earther. Yeah, but let's get on with the debunks now. I'm going to stop at times when I think I've got something I can add that maybe might make you go, wow, didn't think of that one. Yeah, on with that now. Cheers, WheresWally.
Hey, thanks, Wally, mate. Hi there, I'm Wade from the Wade's Underworld channel. I'm going to share a few of my insights, frustrations, and things I've learned from the last few years of debating, talking to, and debunking Flat Earthers. First up, Polaris, the shining light of the Flat Earth. Some Flat Earthers even say it's God himself watching over the Flat Earth while all the stars in the sky rotate around him, anti-clockwise of course, creating some beautiful star trails when a camera is in the hands of someone that actually knows how to focus it. Many a Flat One has suggested that I should observe Polaris so I can see for myself the stationary truth of the Flat Earth, even suggesting that I do my own star trail looking north, and then I'll see Polaris in the center of the star trails. So that's what I did. But there's one massive problem. I can't see Polaris from my home in Australia. And as you can see from this star trail I did,
this is obviously a Flat Earth killer. obviously pointing northwards there from Australia, you have no chance whatsoever of seeing Polaris. As a flat earther, perspective, things are too far away that you can no longer see them visibly with your eye. Now, I think to myself, well, you know, these stars are coming up over the horizon and then disappearing again. Clearly, like, obviously this circular motion. At no point do those stars get too far away. The Stellarium app that I keep bringing up now, because you can debunk flat Earth in 1 minute if you want to. If you want to know the truth, you could. Because Wade here could get me in England to point up and I would see Polaris, point my phone in the direction of Australia, and the stars that I can see under the horizon, it will show me what is under the horizon. Wade would be able to look up and see those stars. There is only one explanation for that, and it is a globe. The denial of flat Earth is there. Just, it's perspective. They're happy with that. They're happy with that.
From my home, Polaris isn't just below my horizon. For this to fit into this, the North Star would have to be way down there, about 32 degrees below my horizon. And if we have a look at why this proves the Earth is a globe, my latitude in the southern hemisphere is 32 degrees south, about here, corresponding with the angle.
So this here, I mean, I kind of get it and I understand when I look at stuff like this, but again, I personally, and I know I have had people offer actually to teach me a bit of geometry along with other things. It's just unfortunately just obviously getting round to people, but I would love, say, a one-on-one tuition on this, because I still don't understand it, but there's other things that I have confirmed the globe with, so now I know that this is correct, because I know that the globe Earth is the only possibility. So what Wade is saying here is correct. As a flat earther, I would have just been thinking, it's a drawing, it's a drawing, do you know what I mean? But then all they have is nothing.
To Polaris. All these lines here are parallel because the North Star is extremely far away. And if I was on a flat Earth out here somewhere, it does not work because my view of Polaris is blocked by this giant round rock, which just so happens to be spinning about once every 24 hours, giving us the ability to create star trails like this one looking south from my backyard. This is the southern celestial pole, which is always due south for me and my friends in South Africa and my friends in South America.
And again here, I heard somebody yesterday, I think it was Jeranism, and he was basically saying that the stars are going round from the southern hemisphere. If you look south, at your night time, they will then be going past you. So if someone's the other side of the globe, the flat plane, they will then see the stars at that time. But I think it was Aaron Ra, the debunker, said, but then the stars would be travelling in perfect motion with the Earth and you would never see them move. But say here, Bolivia, Cape Town, Sydney, on a flat Earth map, just grab something flat, a dip, McDonald's dip. Bolivia might be there, Cape Town is there, Sydney is there, and everyone is looking south but seeing that same pattern. The only way that's possible is if they're on a ball, saying most of them in the southern hemisphere, they're all looking outwards and they can see that middle point of rotation. There is no flat earth explanation for this. Eric Dubay will say things and you just take it in, and there is no actual factual evidence that he is showing anyone. It's just they'll say that there's a visible dome of stars that you can see wherever you are. So if you're here, you have got a dome, or if you're here, you've got a dome. And that's how they try and get away with it. And they just basically say that if you're in the middle on the equator, if you're looking one way, the stars rotate one way, look the other, they rotate the other way. And it just, does not work out like that. It's two-dimensional thinking. Again, this Morton's Demon that I did a video on is coming out. You know, everything is just so clear to me now how Wade is destroying Flat Earth right now. If you're a Flat Earther watching this, what are you doing in your denial system to make you realise that there's 3 people in separate parts of the globe can all look up and see that one point of rotation, whereas on a flat planet, they're all over the place. One's here and one's over here, looking south, and they are looking at the same stars as them? Impossible.
But flat earthers will say, how does this work if the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour? Wouldn't the star trails be flying all over the place? Well, besides the flat Earth problem of scale, speed is relative, and measuring speed from...
Scale is the biggest killer for a flat earther's mind. Just the sheer scale and size of Earth is incomprehensible to flat earthers, along with the numbers of how fast we're travelling. They just can't understand it. They cannot process it in their minds to the point where it's believable. So it sounds so high, so it sounds ridiculous. It's unbelievable how it is, you know, the confirmation bias that will be used in a flat earther's head there. It's incredible.
Fixed point in a 4-dimensional space is impossible.
And the scale thing, because when I realised about just scaling the Earth down to the size of a basketball, and it's simple, that is scientific. When people model things, say aeroplanes, to see how aerodynamic it is, you can scale it down. You know, they don't make these massive aeroplanes first off. They make them small to see if they work. So scaling up is perfectly acceptable. So scaling down also is. Make the Earth the size of a basketball, and this masses of oceans that are sticking to it is 0.015 millimeters thick. Or in other words, if the Earth was the size of a basketball, the amount of oceans would be a grape. So imagine like a grape filled with water, and just like this onto the Earth, and if it's spread round, it would be like obviously a film. That is all it is. People say the Earth is covered in 70% water, but then in reality it's like not even 1% of the whole total mass, if you know what I mean. So I might be wrong there. Someone please correct me if I am. But it is a tiny, 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 tiny percentage of the total mass of the Earth. So this water clinging to it is absolutely nothing at all. They could probably, I'm making this up, but there could probably be 3 or 4 times as much water, and it would still stick there. I don't know. I made that up, but I'm just trying to make you realise that it isn't that much. It's not amazing how this water is sticking to the ball. It's not.
Plain silly. Any active deep space mission which is being tracked by the Deep Space Network will often give 3 speeds for the probe or spacecraft that it's tracking. The relative speed from Earth, the relative speed from the Sun, and the relative speed to the target, such as Jupiter or even Saturn. That's what I saw on this site with Cassini, also when Juno was making its approach into the Jovian system. My point is, when flat earthers say the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour, all they're doing is basing their whole argument on a misunderstanding of simple scientific explanations that were quite literally made for children. The Earth spins...
It's the buzzwords, isn't it? When you hear Jubei say, we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and you can't feel that. And you think of yourself, I don't know, accelerating in a car from 0 to 100, and you think, well, if I went to 0 to 1,000, that's going to be pretty quick. But it's the constant motion, and even really 1,000 miles an hour is slow in relation to the size of the Earth. If you think, you know, this point of the Earth here, to get back to that point again, to take to take 24 hours, and imagine you're an ant just standing there, and it took you 24 hours to do that full circle, would you feel that? I don't think you would.
Once every 24 hours? That sounds pretty damn slow to me. The rotation of the Earth can be measured using star trails. This star trail here of mine is exactly 200 minutes long. I remember because the intervalometer, I switched it off and it was at 200 minutes. So it was 200 minutes.
I've got to say, actually, just props to Wade here. He's obviously a great channel, and I would urge you to go over and check him out. He obviously knows his stuff.
Or 3 hours and 10 minutes. The Earth rotates 15 degrees an hour, so that's 15 times 3, giving us 45 degrees, plus an extra 2.5 degrees for the extra 10 minutes. If we place a 360-degree protractor over the star trail and mark 0 and 47.5 degrees, and we then overlay that onto one of the star trails that stand out, like this one just here, we can see that it lines up pretty much perfectly, showing us that in the 200 minutes or 3 hours and 10 minutes, my camera on the Earth rotated exactly 47.5 degrees, proving that poor old Bob was right. How many degrees does the Earth turn again?
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees.
Thanks, Bob. And this star trail also shows that if I were to use an equatorial mount right here in my backyard, aligned to the southern celestial pole, to track these stars, it's blatantly obvious that I can only use a mount like this to track these stars if the Earth is a globe. Well, I think I've gone over my time. Thank you all for listening to me. And WheresWally? Keep up the great work, mate. And thanks. See ya. Mate.
Hey, there he is. I'm going to actually stop it there, I think, because I went a little, quite in depth, I hope. And props to Wade. Please go and subscribe to him. Check his work out. I don't want to make these videos too long because the initial one was obviously nearly 30 minutes. So the longer I go, more chance of you missing what comes next. This will already, probably be a however long video. Long enough, shall we say. Long enough. Thank you very much if you did get to the end of that. Thank you to all the patrons that have come over. With the money that I get coming in monthly off that, it will all get put towards improving the channel. So I'm going to have, obviously, some graphics, have your names pop up. I'm going to ask you all individually if you'd like to be, obviously, publicly acknowledged. As a thank you, what you have done will help this channel just grow and grow and grow. The Snark has a exclusive coming this Thursday. I Am the Snark. He has done a Seek Truth, Speak Truth song, and I'm very, very excited indeed by that. And if you haven't, go and check out the Snark as well. I Am the Snark. I'm not, but he is. Again, just keep safe, keep it global, and keep coming back.
What you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed.